Hello everyone, my name is Nidhi Sekho, co-author of books Panoramic Indian Painting from classes 9th to 12th. Picasso has said, it's not what you look at that matters, it's what you see. Art theory teaches us what to see in artworks. So let's begin our journey. Today we'll take up Unit 1, Chapter 1, Fundamentals of Visual Arts. And the topic is Elements of Art. These fundamentals will come again as separate subjects once you take up bachelor courses like BFA, BVA, Interior Design, Product Design and even Architecture. What ABC is to English, line, form, color, texture, space are to art. You have been using them all your life ever since you started drawing. But now we'll start using these words as our vocabulary to analyze and appreciate art. Any artwork begins with a sketch or a scribble for which you use a pen, pencil or a brush. I'm sure you must have been doing this on your notebooks while attending to a boring lecture. Now let's look at it. First thing that appears is a dot, which becomes a line. This line becomes a form which you can recognize as an object, a figure or a flower. Thereafter we put colors and textures on it in a given space. That space could be your paper, your canvas or whatever that you are using to make that artwork. That's it. These are all elements of art at play. They are actually the building blocks of your whole composition. The first element is point or a dot. It has very small existence in space but can still act as a focus of a visual. There are many artists who have used a point or a bindu as a focus of their whole composition. I'm sure you have seen a lot of dot mandalas where people use only dots to make entire composition. It is therapeutic in nature and some people even find it meditative. Now when several points are combined together, they become more and more effective and finally form a line. Now we come to line. Paul Klee, a very popular modern artist, has said, line is a dot that went for a walk. To define line, we can call it a path that a point takes from one place to another through space. When a line is drawn, it becomes a line drawing or a sketch which may or may not have a meaning. The line has direction as well as position. Whether straight or curved, it tends to draw our eyes along with it. Lines are of many types: long, short, bold, thin, curved, diagonal, straight, wavy, zigzag. When we look at a line, our mind forms immediate idea. Long line has continuity. Short is to the point. Bold line is asking for attention. Thin line can get overlooked. Curved line has movement and grace. Diagonal line is asking for stability and balance, and straight line already has stability and balance. Wavy has continuity, movement and dynamism, and zigzag line looks crooked. Elaborating more on lines and their effects. Thin line has sharpness and finesse. When we look at a painting, we can see the flow and confidence in the line and say that the artist is an expert. Bold line shows emphasis and draws attention towards itself. Just like a Word document, when words are done in bold, we look at them first. Vertical line stands for height, aspiration, dignity and strength. Horizontal line has peace and balance. Diagonal line is restless. Conical lines look agitated and stiff. Radial lines, just like a circle, have grace and centrality. Spiral lines have an engaging motion, mystery and psychedelic effect. Mystery and psychedelic because they draw our attention towards the center and they look hypnotizing. The next element is shape and form. All of us know that shape is two-dimensional with height and width. Form, on the other hand, has depth too. That is height, width and depth. When shapes become forms, a triangle becomes a cone or pyramid, a square becomes a cube, a rectangle becomes a box. The image is self-explanatory, so let's move on. These are the organic or natural shapes and forms. In the previous slide, we saw geometrical shapes and forms, and these are organic or natural. So shapes and forms can be classified into two, geometrical as well as organic. The next important element is color. To define color, we can say Color is a property possessed by an object to produce different sensations with the help of reflection of light. I'm sure you have done this definition in science in previous classes. So light has an important role in defining a color. To understand color wheel, you can make the image on the right by making 3 concentric circles. Inner circle with primary, second circle with secondary, and third with tertiary. Coming to classification of colors, first category is primary colors. Red, yellow and blue. They are pure and basic. They are equidistant in the color wheel as you can see, and all the colors are made from these. Next is secondary colors. A secondary color is made by mixing 2 primary colors. They are found halfway between the primary colors on the wheel. You can see it here. This is orange, green and violet. Remember to call it violet, not purple. Tertiary colors. A tertiary color is made by mixing 1 primary with 1 secondary. So as you can see, the remaining colors are tertiary colors. So this is red violet, this is blue violet, blue green, yellow green, orange yellow, orange red. After doing the classification of colors into primary, secondary and tertiary, we should also know the complementary colors. They are the opposites on the color wheels and they are the perfect contrasts. So red and green are opposites, orange and blue are opposites, and yellow and violet are opposites. A monochrome means single color. Making a monochrome painting means you are using different tints, shades and intensities of one color. Analogous means neighboring colors on the color wheel. And neutral colors are white, black, grey and beige. Every color has 3 dimensions or qualities: hue, value and intensity. Hue refers to the name of a color. A red hue, yellow hue, violet hue and so on. Value or tone is a dimension or quality of a color. It can also be considered as a separate element. A value or tone refers to the lightness or darkness of a color. By giving value and tones, you give depth and perception to any object that you make. Look at the image. A circle starts looking like a sphere or a ball when different values of color are added to it. There are middle tones, there are highlights, there are shadows. See the light falling from the right and casting its shadow on the left. Intensity means brightness or dullness of a color. Fuchsia or magenta are high intensity because they capture our attention immediately. Olive green, on the other hand, is low intensity because it blends into the background. For example, the camouflage uniform of army men. When they are in action in jungles, they wear it because they blend into the leaves and foliage around them. Colors can also be classified as warm and cool. Warm colors are red, orange, yellow, the colors of sun and fire. They have a feeling of passion, activity and cheerfulness, and they tend to make the body look larger and more dominating. Cool colors are soothing and restful. They remind us of calm water and sky. All the shades of blue are cool, but you have to remember too much of use of these colors can make your artwork look a little depressing too. After colors, we come to the next element called texture. Texture is the surface quality of materials. How the surface actually feels. It could be rough like sandpaper, soft like cotton ball, or harsh like brick or stone walls. But remember, in a painting, texture cannot be felt. You have to show it by the expertise of colors, details, and your strokes. The last and final element is space. Space is your working area, the space that you have used to make the painting or a picture. It is of 2 types, positive and negative. Positive means the space that you have used to represent the subject matter. Negative space, on the other hand, is the space around and between the subject matter. They are both equally important because using too much positive space means your painting is cluttered, and if you have too much negative space means it's empty and boring. So you have to use it judiciously. In the beginning of the video, I had said that these elements are going to be our vocabulary. We are going to use them in analyzing art. So let's just take one example from class 11 syllabus, Padampani Bodhisattva and Ajanta fresco. We'll not get into the details of history, we'll just look at the elements. First element, line. In this case, it's very soft, delicate, and fine. You can actually feel the flow. The artists, the monks, were actually experts in handling their equipment. Next element, form. Form is again very soft and delicate. Look at the fingers, look at the features. They are made beautifully and they look actually delicate because he is still a bodhisattva. He is not yet Buddha, he is a prince. So that form has actually come out here. The colors are worthy. The use of browns, oranges, and olive green all over. The values that he has used in the values of color that I mean are that he has used in rendering the face. They bring out the three-dimensional effect. Now coming to texture, look at the crown. It's metallic. It looks metallic. Then look at the pearly necklace that he is wearing. So that three-dimensional thing is again coming out. And look at the texture of flowers, look at the texture of leaves. All these textures are beautifully handled. Now coming to the last element, that is space. Space, the foreground, the main image is dominating, and the narrative which is in the background is receding into the background. So this is the beautiful judicious use of space. We are done with elements of art. Now I'll leave you with the questions. First slide is lengthy questions and short notes. Second is of MCQs. I hope you like this video. Thank you very much and goodbye.